Hello everybody, Darcy Marler here. In this week's video, we're going to do another Students Taking Action video. I love these and I know you do too. So I'm going to introduce you to someone called Sylvie L Introduction. You're going to love her. Now Sylvie invests with her husband Andre and two really good friends, Julie and Michael. So there's four of them. They joined the course a year and a half ago, way back in May of 22. And just how far they've come from what the size of the projects they were doing to what they're doing now is amazing. So how are they doing that? I think a really big part of that is the fact that there is four of them. We talk about this all the time in the course, the power of having operational partners, a spouse, a sibling, whatever. Well, there's four of them. Four heads are better than one. Don't try to do this yourself. This is a team sport. So the more mental knowledge and power you have at your disposal, the better. So I think that's really working in their favor for sure. The other thing I want you to take note of as we're going through the video is that they're becoming real neighborhood experts. They're kind of focusing all their energy on one community. Lots of benefits for that. We talk about that a lot in the course. A couple of benefits right up top. You get to know the zoning codes really well. You really get in-depth knowledgeable about that neighborhood. You know, for example, that it's better to invest on this side of the street as opposed to that side of the street, for example. And the other thing is you get to really know the wants and the needs and the shortcomings of your neighborhood. So, for example, they're filling a void by creating 3-bedroom units in their community because there's a shortage of that, right? These are kind of the benefits of being a neighborhood expert. I know it's also important all the time to learn how to find stuff and how to fund it. So we talk about that in depth with Sylvie, how she's finding stuff and how to fund it. So you'll really want to watch that part of the video as well. So like this video, subscribe to my channel. And if you're ready to get serious about real estate development, I've got a course, an online course that teaches you everything you need to know. And this is an example. Sylvie goes through some of the examples of what she's learned from the course. So let's get together, talk about your future in real estate development. My contact information is in the description below. Email me, reach out through a Zoom call, through Calendly, whatever. But let's talk. So now, without further ado, here's Sylvie L Introduction. Hello, my guest today for the Students Taking Action video is Sylvie L Introduction. Welcome, Sylvie.
Hello.
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Sylvie L Introduction. My husband is Andre L Introduction. I work for the federal government. I've been working for the federal government for 30 years. Andre has been managing properties for a large property management firm, but we've been real estate investors for probably about, I'm going to say, a good 10 years now. And we've done all sorts of things in real estate since.
So you joined the course about a year and a half ago in May of 2022. Tell us a little bit what you were doing there in terms of real estate investing, mostly flips and rentals or what?
We started with renovating existing buildings, like single-family homes, flipping them. We flipped a few condos. The most recent sort of big real estate deals that we've been working on are what we call the twins. So we've been fully renovating 2 8-unit multifamily buildings to bring them back to the market with increased density and better amenities and basically a better product on the market. So let's get back to that one a little bit. But right now, can you take us back to May of 2022? What were you thinking? What were you missing in your investing? What did you hope to get out of the course? So May 2022, 2 years into COVID and construction costs going crazy, labor shortages, all sorts of different things happening in the economy. And looking at it saying, so we're facing a housing crisis. Love the BRRRR concept and certainly want to rejuvenate existing stock of rentals. But we were looking at it from a perspective of we're not really adding to the stock. At the end of the day, you know, we wanted to at least help improve the housing crisis as opposed to contribute more to it, because as soon as you do a BRRRR, you have to vacate buildings, right, or vacate units. So rather than contributing to the housing crisis, we wanted to help alleviate the housing crisis. So we decided that we needed to do new builds. Less complicated. You're building from new, it's like from scratch. So basically, generally the problems are more a question of getting materials and trades on time as opposed to dealing with actual problems with the building and having to fix issues.
So now you're starting to do some of the projects that you were hoping to do?
It's quite interesting. So what we've decided to do as a partnership, so we are partnered with Julie and Michael Conrad as well. So in these 2 buildings in Vanier. It's a neighborhood in particular that has seen, I'm going to say, not necessarily seen better days, but it has a long-standing history. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, you'll see that if you were to come and visit, 1 out of 4 buildings is being renovated, torn down, rebuilt, increased in size and density, for the simple reason that the neighborhood is changing considerably. And so what we've decided to focus on is actually building and increasing the number of units and amenities in one community in particular. So we're staying in the neighborhood and trying to exponentially, add to the profits and the sort of the benefits of one building by investing in the same neighborhood. And literally it's a knock-on effect. Every building that you fix that you tear down and rebuild is only increasing value to the neighborhood.
So the Twins, was that a tear down and build new, or was a renovation of an existing structure?
So the Twins are existing purpose-built 8-unit multifamily buildings that were built in 1949. So those are full renovations. Like we didn't tear down the building, but basically we brought it down to the stuff. We were increasing the footprint and the square footage. We were able to actually convert them all to, except for the 1 unit, convert them all to 3-bedroom units, which is pretty much in dire need right now in this neighborhood. Right now, everybody that is purchasing or that has a unit in this neighborhood that is a single family home, they're actually demolishing and creating triplex, 4-plex, 6-plex buildings. So the availability of 3-bedroom units is diminishing as opposed to increasing, because people are converting larger spaces to subdivide it into 1-bedroom studios, 2-bedroom units. So we're losing stock in the 3-bedroom category. And so what we decided was to actually increase the footprint and increase density by allowing ourselves to have 3-bedroom units.
So you're staying in the same neighborhood, becoming a community expert like we talk about in the course. So do you have some other projects on the go in that neighborhood?
We do. We are looking at right now, we have under contract 3 properties that are part of a larger plan of a 6-property land assembly. And it's interesting because this is not something we thought we would be able to do before. We took your course. We hadn't gotten sort of the confidence yet to be able to do this, right? We were kind of like, there's no way we can just undertake this. So after taking the course, we really started looking at what opportunities were there in the neighborhood. And so we now have 3 properties under contract. We have 3 other properties under negotiation to make a 6-property land assembly deal. And basically what we're looking to do on these 2 sets of properties. So one is about 42,000 square feet. The other one is about 35,000 square feet. And on these 2 properties, with potential of closing the street that crosses in the middle, we're basically looking at building 2 high-rise buildings with commercial and professional offices space in the bottom. But we're talking 20 stories to 25 stories high. It's a little bit of a leap, but still, we're confident we can get there in this neighborhood in particular, because there's a lot of activity. There's been a lot of investment by the city. There are a lot of builders actually building in this community right now. And so we're going to ride a similar wave in terms of the demand. And certainly looking at sort of the value of rentals right now in this community keeps going up.
So the end goal for this is just to get entitlement or approval and then sell, or do you actually want to go ahead and build?
At this point, we're not limiting ourselves to just doing the paper. We're actually looking to get to actually building these buildings and holding the buildings after. The advent of commercial space in here sort of gives the bonus sort of revenue for the building. But it's also because we want to bring different amenities to the community, and we really want to sort of contribute to that community. So that's one of the projects that we have on the go right now. We're also looking at another property that's about 12,000 square feet, not as big, but is zoned properly. And we can basically go to site plan right now for a 9-story building with 100 units. So that one could be completed faster. And that's what we're aiming for with that property as well.
Wow, those are some pretty big projects. Good for you. So without getting into too much detail or giving away too many secrets, can you tell us how you find and fund your projects?
How we found properties was some of these are off-market deals. Some of these are MLS deals. Property's been sitting on MLS for a year, or they're sitting with a commercial realtor for a year. One property had actually been sold. A builder was already in the middle of consultations with zoning for a zoning amendment, basically consultations with the community, and they backed out. And so when they backed out, we said, this is our opportunity. We've been looking at it for a year anyways, right? And from a funding perspective, for these deals, a lot of our current private lenders on the Twin are investing in these projects because they see the value in what that's going to bring to the community, including their initial investment on the Twin. We also have switched mortgage brokers to look at rental construction initiative loans for the building. So that's how we're going to be funding the actual construction portion of it. And at this point, we are, as a group, bringing in a few more investors with us, but we are going to be establishing a mutual fund trust that is going to be focused on community-based projects. So that's where we're heading next. So we're becoming the bank with a whole bunch of investors that we know.
These investors that you have, are they mostly friends and family, or how do you find them?
So many friends and family, but at the same time, accredited investors that we have met along the way. And we're also, as we establish a mutual fund trust, we're going to be working with an exempt market dealer as well, so that we can tap into the broader investor community without necessarily getting into trouble with our own securities commission, right? We have to be careful. So we're becoming legit lenders and investors, as we say. Legit as.
Good for you. That's amazing. So getting back to the course, what have you learned from the course or the community or myself?
What was really good about the course for us is it brought us to a point where we learned how to look for the deals. Like, it's like every property now, instead of just looking at it as a purchase, we're looking at it as a development. It's kind of funny because even the Twins, if we assess what would have happened if we had approached this deal differently. What would have been the better scenario? Well, the zoning on these Twins, for example, limits us to 8 units on these sites. But across the street, the zoning is slightly different, and there is no cap. So now it's just opened our eyes to how we assess every opportunity, how we look at every piece of land, and with or without a building on it, and looking at it from every angle, every opportunity, and always with a view of achieving the highest and best use, but also the highest and best income and returns on a project.
So more tools in your toolbox.
A lot of what we learned too is how to, like, the different offer strategies that you can give to a lender or to a seller, whether it's an AFS, an option, a direct purchase, or an equity play, a VTB. There's so many options that are available, and in particular, more in the land development space than they would be in just a straight purchase of a building. How to examine zoning, looking at it from, okay, zoning. What do we look at in zoning? What are the different types of zoning? What are the most probable zonings that you need to get to be able to develop as much as possible? What type of different strategies you can look at in a given neighborhood and area? One area might be more prone to, stacked townhouses or semis with ADUs in the basement, or just looking at what is feasible, what is good and possible in that neighborhood. That's a lot of, it's not something necessarily we were looking at it from originally. We were looking at it from, okay, well, this is what they've got, so they're likely not going to allow us to do any more. But then look at the zoning, well, maybe they'll allow us for, to do more. Everything is changing, so we need to look at it differently as well.
I think that's something that most regular investors in the flip and rental world don't even contemplate. So that gives us a real leg up as members of this course. So good for you for taking advantage of that. So getting back to the course, you're active in the Facebook community. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Strangely, sometimes in the course and sometimes out of the course. I'm going to say not in the group coaching or in the Q&A sessions, but even outside of that. We've made some great contacts and great friends, actually, as part of the course. We've been able to touch base with a lot of investors at different events. So even going to another conference in Toronto, well, some of your students were at the same conference. We all ended up having dinner, right? We're all talking about the same things. We've had a lot of exchanges, and we're always open to helping, and we just exchange ideas and talk about problems. How do you solve them, and how do you move ahead?
Just winding up, what does the future look like 5 years from now? What do you hope real estate development can do for you?
Our plans individually, like as our original partnership, we're looking to bring maybe 3 to 5 projects to fruition over the next 5 to 7 years. Andre and I are both at retirement age. By the time we're 60, basically, is when we're trying to wind down our active sort of construction and development deals. And then after that, basically spend more time managing and managing a portfolio and looking at helping others do their deals. So we're looking at different exit strategies, sort of trying to ladder the returns for us as well in our retirement. So trying to get some projects done sooner so that the income and the revenues are coming in, and then we move on to the next phase with another project. Right, we're really excited about the opportunities that are ahead. There's a lot of uncertainty, yes, but with uncertainty brings opportunity, because there's a lot of properties that are becoming available that wouldn't have become available in the highest of the market. There are tired landlords out there. There are tired homeowners. There are older homeowners that are now downsizing. Neighborhoods need to be densified. So there's tons of opportunity out there. What was nice about land development as an option, as a new option in our toolkit, is that you create your own opportunity. You're not just waiting for them to pop up. By looking at the property in a different way and looking at what the opportunities are on each parcel of land, you're creating profitable opportunities.
So if you can't find a multifamily apartment to buy, maybe you build your own.
And you can build the multifamily that you want that meets the needs of the community at that point in time, as opposed to what was built in 1950 or what was built in 1970. You're looking at what are the amenities that people are looking for now.
So I don't want to take up too much more of your time, Sylvie. I've watched you with great interest, you and your group, the last year and a half. What you're doing is amazing. You should be very proud of yourself. I'm very proud of you, even going so far as to starting your own fund. That's just awesome. So obviously, your confidence is much higher than it was a year and a half ago.
Well, and it's interesting because we wouldn't, it's not the construction that scares us. It's the part before that. It's actually getting to that point where you can have a building permit and go. We've been doing construction all of our life, so that's not the hard part. For us, it's more, how do we get to a project that we can get under our belt quickly and at the same time is going to be, revenue positive and will contribute to the community. So
couldn't agree more. So thank you very much, Sylvie. I've really enjoyed this. Good luck on your future and congratulations. So how awesome was that? I knew you'd love this video. So Sylvie's doing some really great things with her husband and her 2 friends there. And you can see she talked about the confidence that she got because she joined the course. Education leads to confidence. So let's get you all learned up and get you involved in this course as well. And you can do these amazing things as well. So my contact information's in the description below. Email me, reach out through Zoom call, whatever you want. But let's get together and talk about your future in real estate development. Thank you.